What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? So we are back again for Divorce Sisters Season 1, Episode 6. Girl, I did not think I was going to sit here and watch the whole season and review the whole season and get caught up with it. But that's basically what it's looking like because I'm on Episode 6. It's one more episode after this that I got to get caught up on. And yeah, girl. Dare I say that, Tyler Perry actually got a good show on his hand? He's coming back with a good show? I guess. All right. But hey, we get up into this episode and, it picks up again, like I said, the cliffhangers. And I don't know if I necessarily, like I said, please do not spoil nothing for me, all right? I got one more episode to catch up on. By the time I finish tonight, I'll be caught up and know everything. But I don't know if I necessarily believe Pastor Jefferson. Now, when Myron answered that phone, he was like, "Hey, baby, you in the car? You could talk?" And so Jefferson, he gets the phone and he was like, "Myron, why are you talking to me like that? Do you know who you can talk to?" He was like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry, Pastor. I didn't mean to say that. I thought you were Desiree or whatever. Now, who the hell is Desiree? Was that supposed to be your wife? I know they say that he's married, but for somebody that is married, you are so all into him. And you want me to believe that there is absolutely nothing going on with y'all, at least on Myron's part. Like, it's not clicking. What's not clocking to you guys? Okay, it's not clocking to me. It's not clicking. Okay, it's not clicking. I'm not buying it at all. And then he gets on the phone because he calls him back because oh my God, Rashida went up in the house. Okay, she was just so upset, and I'm feeling like, oh, she's not buying anything what he's saying at this point. And so at this point, I'm thinking that, well, he's gonna go run in there after her. He still doesn't do that. He still doesn't do that. Girl, not Tiffany, but he do call Myron back and was like, "Why would you do that?" or whatever. He was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I really did think I was calling Desiree." I said, "What, girl? I don't believe it. I don't believe it." He was like, "Sir, I was here to to look after you." And I'm sitting here like, he takes his job a little bit too serious and to look after him. And if you go back and you look at from episode 1 to now, it's like he his right hand man, but he's like, it's like, is he married to him or is it Rashida that's married to him? Because he don't let him do nothing. He barely let him answer things on his own and everything. And it's very peculiar. Okay. And you want us to think there's nothing going on. Meanwhile, instead of just getting up and going and seeing about your wife, Jefferson gets into the car and he prays. Okay, let's pray. You praying for your family, you praying for your wife, and you say how much you love her and you want to be with her. Well, show her. Baby, I can't tell. I can't tell. Like, he didn't even go in there and say, "Listen, I am not fucking that man." Okay, that is not what's going on. No ma'am, no him, no Pam. That is not what's happening. But what wound up happening is he's praying and then he gets a phone call from Tiffany. And Tiffany had been trying to get in contact with Rashida. Rashida hasn't been answering. And so, she called him out like, "You don't care about Naomi," because he did ask how she was doing or whatever. It was like, "You don't give a damn." And it was like, "What's going on with Rashida?" It was like, "Well, we got to it and I left her in the car last night." "Oh my God, you didn't open up the door?" I said, this is not funny. It was just the way that she clocked it real quick in the way that he still wasn't getting it. So she said, "Listen, you might as well just go ahead and pack your stuff because y'all about to get a divorce. It's over. It's done with." And he was like, "Wait a minute, what? Oh, because I didn't answer the door. I didn't open the door for her." And he was like, it's deep. Okay. He was like, It can't be that deep. She said, yes, the fuck it is. All right. If I'm telling you this, it's deep. And right about now, your wife is in that room by herself trying to convince herself not to leave. Okay. Because at this point, after what she been through, she's not, one thing about it, two things for sure. She said she's going to get a person when she grows up and she get married. Her man has to open the door for her and has to do something or whatever else. Two things. And you didn't open up that door. Oh, baby, it's over and it's done with. And I was like, what the fuck happened? Okay. And he was asking that too. And it was like, well, you're going to have to talk to her. All right. Because this is something that she never told anybody besides me and Geneva. So you're going to have to talk to her about what's going on. And, eventually she went on ahead and told him that basically when they was when they was in college, she was with this guy. Mind you, her daddy is a pastor too. So she's one of those good girls. She was with this guy who she thought was really supposed to be her man. He was a frat boy. And I said, well, red flag right there. Okay. Flag on the plate. But yeah, she thought he was all for her. They go to this party or whatever, frat party. And basically she wound up being up in a room with him and he wouldn't let her out, but let in his frat brothers. And basically she wound up getting gang raped. That's basically what wound up happening. And that was very much unfortunate. And of course, he didn't want to hear all of it, but she wound up saying it. And I was just like, oh, wow, that's so crazy. That's so messed up. And the whole thing with the door is he wouldn't open up the door. He wouldn't open up the door to let her out. You know what I'm saying? For all of this to happen. So that's where her hung up is with the door. But she was like, you need to go in there. You need to talk to your wife. And he still wanted to go to the church first. And Tiffany had to tell that man, if you want your wife to stay with you, you will get your ass up and go in there and you will talk to her right about fucking now. And I'm like, oh my God, what is not clocking to you? It's just like, you cannot be this stupid, this blinded, this just naivety. This naivety is just, oh my God, it's just, man, like, is Tyler trying to use this to just basically say that, yeah, women go through some things, but our men can be just as goddamn dumb. Is he trying to be equal? Because that's what it feel like a little bit. Because my goodness, you can't see this. After she said, it shouldn't even have taken getting to know her backstory, a terrible traumatic secret that happened to her, for you to get up and actually want to be a husband to her. And so of course he went into the house and he's feeling guilty and he's feeling bad because one, he didn't know that this happened to her. And two, he had to find out this way and realizing that he just triggered his wife, right? And so because of this, now you realize how much of an asshole you have been, how much of a neglecting husband you have been, and now you want to sit there and tell her that she's beautiful and that you want to be there for her. And the reason why that you have been acting the way that you've been acting towards her is because basically being around her makes you insecure. Make you insecure because she has this aura around her and this energy that just draws people in. People just automatically want to hear what she has to say, automatically want to read her words, automatically wants to see her. She draws the crowd. Whereas he has to work so hard to get people to like him. So basically he's jealous. He even said, your book sold more than mine. You sell so many copies and stuff and everything. I'm just sitting here like, whoa, you're in a marriage and you're jealous of your goddamn spouse. That is crazy. And it's making you insecure. And truth be told, you wouldn't be that way if you just communicated to your wife and she would do anything she could in her powers to just make you feel like the man that you need to feel. She gives that. She gives me, she will put you on a pedestal before she put herself up there. If she gives me, she would dumb herself down slightly to lift you up just because you feel like you've fallen short. She gives that. but you wasn't trying to listen to her. You wasn't trying to communicate to her. But it took for you to be told a secret of hers, for you to realize that you were being this a terrible husband. And she clocked it right away. Who told you this? It had to be one of the girls that told you this, because all of a sudden you want to come in and now you want to act like you want to be my husband. You want to be caring. You want to tell me I'm beautiful and all of this stuff. You want to ride to the church with me and everything. Like, what's going on? And, he did say it was Tiffany or whatever. But I will say that one moment where he heard what she told her. He told her what happened and what was told to her. And when she just kind of clocked out, I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold y'all. Like, it made me emotional. It made me emotional because I don't like, and I hate the fact when I have to hear about people who have been in those situations. And I'm thankful to the Lord that I've never been put in that situation, or I don't know. Well, I do know a couple of people that have, but I'm thankful that I've never experienced that. And it hurts so much to hear anybody being taken advantage of like that. And then because it's like the people that do it, they don't care about the residual side effects, the trauma that's very much lifelong. Okay, that one moment for what you did and what you took from this person is going to cause them pain for the rest of their lives, no matter if they get help for it or not. It's going to show up some way, somehow, and it's going to affect them in the most negative way most of the time, right? And then the way that she just clocked the fuck out, you see her go blank. And he had to basically, she went limp. The way that he had to, just keep repeating, I'm here for you, I'm here from you, I'm here for you, I'm sorry, and all this stuff, and put her arms around him, because she just really wasn't there. I don't like that. I don't like that. I do not like people who are, and this is why I talk as strongly as I do about people who abuse other people. I do not, and I have no sympathy. There is no letting up on them. I cannot, because of the trauma that you cause. I know this is fictional or whatever, but this is shit that people really be going through. And people don't give a damn. And it just be bothering me. That shit hurt me so bad. It hurt me so bad, bitch. I was about to cry thinking about it just now. Like, because I know people that been through shit like that. And I just, you're a terrible person to do some shit like that to another person. Ew. But eventually, I guess they got back together. They're okay. Bitch, it wouldn't have been me. I'm sorry. It took for somebody, but with all that being said, it took for somebody to tell you my teeth for you to all of a sudden want to start doing right by me now. Okay. But at least you got to start somewhere, right? I guess. So, Bridget, she gets to the church. She see First Lady is having a little good day. She come in all smiley faced and everything. And it's like, oh, y'all had a good night or whatever. Okay, cool. And then she also see Calvin. Calvin want to know where the hell Vaughn is at. And I said, what you want to know where Vaughn is at? He said, because he about to press charges. He about to get that man arrested. And I said, good for you. Now, usually I don't do that. But in this case, he ain't about nothing else. He ain't about nothing else. So, yeah, he needs to suffer the consequences of his actions, okay? He needs a wake-up call. For real. And so, therefore, you get Calvin once again trying to put the moves on Bridget and say, you need a real man and all this stuff, whatever. I'm like, Calvin, that ain't it. It's not it right now. You're about to put a man in jail and everything. Because she said she kicked his ass out. He probably at his mama house. Now she want to say she don't know where the mama live at and all this stuff. Whoa. And you got that going on. Then we had this whole situation with Tiffany and Geneva. Tiffany gets a call saying that, somebody's supposed to be buying the house. They want to get shown the house. We don't know who it is, right? And so, because she's a realtor or she's in real estate, right? And so Geneva just so happened to pop up. And it was like, bitch, what you doing over here? Well, I'm finna show a house. I don't know who the person is, but I guess. And then, talking about the fact that Javon is taking her out and she's liking him and she's trying to get down to the bottom of what's going on with Geneva. Geneva just won't tell her the truth. And guess who pops up? It's Javon. Javon like, well, shit, I'm in the neighborhood. I might as well try to look for a house and be next to y'all or whatever. And I said, y'all don't think that that's suspicious and that don't seem right? At least you, Tiffany, that'll make me feel some type of way. He's supposed to be just a lawyer or something or whatever, and now he want to come live in the same neighborhood. No, y'all doing too much. You doing too much, okay? Then you want to butter me up, and you want to take me out, and you want to do all these things to me or whatever. And, huh? You want to try to kiss me and all that stuff? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I said, Tiffany, I know he making your stuff purr. He woke you up. He woke you up out of being dormant for 3 years and probably a little bit longer than that, because ain't no telling what was going on in that relation, that marriage that you had. But he woke that thing up in less than 24 hours and you smitten like a mug and you are not thinking straight. None of this seems right. Okay, the way that your friend is acting, the fact that he's looking at a house in her neighborhood right next to her, and she's saying basically she don't know the man like that, which is a lie, but come on. Meanwhile, when we talk about her, Geneva gets her ass up, and after she didn't follow, she didn't follow William to the carpool lane to the school. Saw him talking to Lil Maddie's mama. She wound up following her to her yoga studio. Girl, she goes up in there talking to her, trying to act like she want to do a play date. She know who she is. She was like, oh, you're William's wife, right? And I was like, yeah. And she's talking about her own husband, and all of this stuff. And she's making it seem like she want to set up the play date between the kids. Okay, cool. She acts like she accidentally leaves her phone. And so she had it recorded. So she comes back in there to get her phone, and she listens to it, and what it says is, we hear Maddie's mom on the phone talking to whoever she's on the phone with, and basically saying, oh, something so strange just happened, but you know what, I'll talk to you later, baby, when I get home. I'll call you later when I get home and talk to you. Well, I'll talk about it when we get home, or whatever. And she took that to mean that her man was cheating on her. And I'm like, she could be talking to her husband. Like, what? Oh, shit. I'm just sitting here like, I don't think William is cheating. And if it does come out that William is cheating, I will be surprised. But I don't feel like that's what it is. Now, mind you, this is the, when she walked back up in that studio to get her phone. I know the clip was going around, and you can hear Tyler Perry in the background saying, okay, and action. Go ahead and walk. Or something like that. So I'm listening for that. And maybe they called it and they cleared it up. Because I didn't hear it in this part. I didn't hear it when I was watching it. So maybe they went back and they fixed it real quick and switched it out. But, it was fine to me. But I did see the original clip. So, who knows. But anyway, so I'm just like, oh, girl. She goes down there to talk to, meet up with Rashida, because she did wind up calling Rashida. Rashida basically told her to come down there to the to the church, because you doing too much. And she's sitting there telling her, listen, I went down there and I found where she was working at, and then this man is over here finna move next to me and all this stuff. And basically, it's crazy, but she's excited by it because she's so bored with William. And I said, oh no. If you're so bored with your husband, tell him that you're bored. Tell him that, communicate. Is this what marriage is supposed to be? Living a life of boredom? And then Rashida said, marriage is what you make it. So again, open up your mouth and communicate with your husband and tell him, listen, baby, this is what I would like, okay? I love you, but I need a little bit more excitement. You have to communicate. That does not mean let's resort to cheating. And then being okay with the fact that this man, you living on a life of danger and risk. Okay, well, that's what she wants. That's what she wants, because she bored, right? So she want to live on the edge. This man is about to move next door to you so that he can be doing what? What? You don't think that that's weird? You don't think that that's crazy and that's risky and that's creepy? come on now, Geneva. She was sitting there talking about some. Oh, I can't get him off my mind, and I'm so turned on by what he doing. And the whole thing is, I just hope him and Tiffany don't have sex, because once they do, it's gonna be over. Listen, he's the biggest I ever had. I said, oh my God, why are you talking to your friend like this? I said, and then it's the music that's playing in the background. I said, y'all about to fuck too? Like, that's what it is. Like, you want to get her turned on so that y'all can do click-clack stuff in the pastor's office? Like, what is going on? We are supposed to be talking about contracts, and you are talking about this potentially cheating again on your husband. Like, you have not learned a thing, Geneva. You have the fact that the man that you cheated on your husband with is now good friends with your husband, and he potentially thinks that your daughter is his daughter, and now he's going to move next door to you possibly, and now he's playing around with your friend. Oh my God, this show is just a mess. And then we get Bridget. She gets a text message from Vaughn who says, I can't do this. I can't live without you, or some shit. So therefore, I'm going off myself. I said, what? Oh, this is a manipulation tactic. I cannot stand when somebody say, and I hate to say it like this, because it's a manipulation tactic, and it's so fucked up that people do this, because there are people that really feels this way and really want to go through the stuff. But this is when they break up with somebody, they try to manipulate them to take them back by saying, oh, well, don't nobody want me, so therefore I'm going to take myself out. Please don't tell me no shit like that, because I tell you to just go ahead. I will hang up on you and tell you to go ahead and do it. I'm sorry. I hate to say that, because you're not finna guilt me back into being with you. You're not about to guilt me back into being with you or anything like that. Absolutely no. No, that is a manipulation tactic for sure. Okay, and that means that you are not a good person. But I mean, that's how I felt. Okay, that's how I felt when I was looking at this, right? Because then when she get on the phone, she trying to call him. He wouldn't answer. He wouldn't answer a couple of times. Then she finally get him on the phone. And then, Rashida came in. And then Geneva and the pastor came in or whatever. They trying to talk to him and all this stuff. He was like, you want to get me arrested and don't nobody want me. And my mama don't want me. My daddy don't want me. But you don't want me either, because you want to get me arrested. Pastor trying to talk to him, trying to reason with him. He was like, I was where you was at. What you mean? You got a whole bunch of money. He was like, listen, I had some time when I was a teenager. I said a teenager. He can't relate to that. He was like, well, listen, I was in the foster care system. And when I aged out the foster care system, I had to go here, had to go there. But then I eventually I said, okay, well, I get that. He trying to get him some help, get him some place to stay, because he ain't got nowhere to go. Don't nobody want him. Bridget don't want him. All this stuff. And woo, 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 woe is me. And I really thought he was playing. Until all of a sudden he said, I loved you, Bridget, but you want to try to have me arrested. I ain't got nothing no more. It is what it is. Next thing you know, we hear a pop sound. I said, did this man really just take himself out? And I'm sorry, trigger warning, and then we get at the end of the episode, the little thing for the suicide prevention and stuff. Like, I said, oh my God, so did he really just, what? He's like, I'm 30 years old, I ain't got, I said, wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. And again, like I said, don't say no shit like that to me, because I tell you to do it. A manipulation tactic. But I mean, I ain't expecting him to actually do it. I thought he was really gonna get. She was like, "Baby, I'm still here for you. I'm still here for you. I do love you. You could." I said, "Oh, this is all just to get her." And this is what I said. He ain't had no place to stay, so he needed a place to stay. So let me go ahead and act like I'm finna take myself out, so that I could get her to say, "Come back. You could stay with me as long as you need to." Well, I don't know. That was the end of the episode. Let me look at episode 7 to see if he really did what he said he was gonna do. But yeah, I'm actually liking this show. What the freak? I'll see y'all later.